A parliamentary select committee has this week been discussing Labour MP Sue Moroney's bill on paid parental leave. The bill proposes an extension of the taxpayer-funded leave from 14 weeks to 26. Anglican Family Care Director Nicola Taylor has experience of the issue from a variety of angles. She's here with her thoughts. Good evening, Nicola.
Hi.
What can you tell us about where the push for more paid parental leave is at?
Well, I understand that submissions from the public are being heard now, and that the financial cost of it all is one of the biggest barriers. But apart from that, the proposal is being well received. Yeah.
What's your experience of the issue?
Well, I did a bit of a check around our staff at work because we employ 45 women, and mostly hugely in favour of the idea that this would go through.
What are your thoughts on the issue as a social service provider?
Well, of course, we work mostly with the most vulnerable children and their families, and we work with issues of child poverty and family violence. And the financial pressures on families today are huge. And if it's money that's preventing mothers from being with their children in those very early months, I'd be very concerned about that.
You're also an employer of women, as you mentioned earlier. Do you have concerns from that side?
Well, look, you know, it's actually an individual choice thing. Some women want to get back to work early because they need the stimulation and the variety of being in the workforce away from their small children, and they may have excellent other supports. But for others, the early coming back into work for financial reasons is extremely stressful, especially if you're thinking about breastfeeding a baby for the first 6 months and those sorts of things. It's a tall order.
And considering the issues, what would you like to see be the result from this debate?
Well, I think if our country decided that was the best move, then it should have some very good outcomes for young families. When you think of the financial pressures on families now, the difficulties of buying your first home, student debt, and things that we took for granted in my growing up years now are much tougher for new parents.
There's quite a difference between 14 weeks and 26.
Yes.
Why was that figure arrived at?
Well, it's just as perhaps a comparison to other countries in the world who give much more generous entitlements. Our country is doing very badly in OECD statistics for child abuse, child deaths and child poverty. And the valuing on the early years or early months of a baby being with their mother just seems to be being overlooked.
And yet John Key has suggested the government will use its power to veto the issue. Where do you think it's going to end up?
Well, I think that's a man's view of it. And yes, there are financial constraints, but you can reprioritise things if you choose to do that.
Nicola Taylor, Anglican Family Care Director, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.